Azie, what's good?
You feel my brother? Peace, man.
Everything good, man. Thank you for coming in.
For sure.
So you grew up in the Bronx originally?
I was born in the Bronx. I grew up in Harlem.
Okay. So when did you end up moving to Harlem?
At the age of 6 years old.
Okay,
After a fire,
Yeah.
put in a shelter, then they placed us in Harlem.
You were in a shelter.
Yeah, we was placed in the shelter for like 6 months. You know, after the building burned down, then they moved us to Harlem.
Okay, and us is?
My family, my sisters and brother.
Okay.
My mother.
So from 6 years old, you were in Harlem.
Yes.
What was it like growing up in Harlem during that time?
Harlem was Harlem, man, you know. It was fun. We grew up in the Sugar Hill section of Harlem where all the players and hustlers used to be at. So I grew up, you know, around that. You know, and I was working at the cleaners, so all those type of cats used to come in the cleaners. And I was young. And basically, growing up there, you saw, you know, the streets.
Yeah.
To me, that's like the mecca of where it all started from, you know, Harlem.
Now, you dropped out of high school in the 9th grade.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you getting involved in the street life before then?
No, I wasn't. I basically dropped out to work full time at the cleaners to help, you know, ends meet at my mom's house.
Okay.
That's basically what it was because, you know, we was on welfare and, you know, trying to help, you know, survive. That's when I dropped out, but I wasn't going that route.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You had a regular 9 to 5.
Yeah, I was trying to go, you know,
Yeah.
the right way.
Okay. Now, what exactly happened at the cleaners?
At the cleaners, basically, growing up amongst, like I said, around the hustlers, was an older dude in the cleaners. He was a tailor, being honest. He was a tailor, and he came from that world, but he had did a lot of time. And when he came home, he'd opened up a tailor shop. And he became the tailor at the cleaners I was working in. He used to tell me about these stories and all that. That's the first time I used to really hear about the streets, get informed strictly about the streets. But my man Rich, he was already in the streets.
Okay.
He was at 13 years old doing what he had to do to survive in the streets.
And that at the time it was what drug? Was it heroin?
Yeah, it was heroin at the time. I believe that Rich was involved with selling heroin, and then you know, one thing led to the next.
Okay. So you and Rich hooked up, and what happened next?
Rich, I'm gonna put it like, Rich was in the game with his friends, younger dudes, cars, making a lot of money. And I'm in the cleaners. I'm not in the game. But, you know, seeing that lifestyle, all the fun they having, you know, LA, Rich, and, you know, everybody flocking to that world because that's where the money at. But Rich and me was more tight because Rich looked at it like, okay, he ain't in the streets, but hold this for me, hey, hold that for me.
Okay.
You understand? So I'm holding things for him.
Drugs.
And I may be stashing it in the cleaners.
Okay.
And then one thing led to the next. The cleaners owner finding something. And then, boom, you know, I can't have this in my store. And he wound up, you know, putting me, you know, firing me.
Okay, so he was having you hold heroin or cocaine?
Coke, money, drugs, guns. You feel me?
Okay. So Rich Porter was coming by, he was leaving drugs, guns, money with you. Was he like giving you like some extra money for doing all that?
You know, Rich would look out, man. That's my man. You know, it's like, I don't know how people take it like, you know what I mean? It's just a thing. When you're in the hood and y'all coming from the same, what I would say, sandbox, you know, this is your man. You do it for free.
Yeah.
It's just natural, like, oh, you all right? Here.
Oh.
It's just it's natural. You're not, you know what I mean? I can't explain it, man. It's like you're not doing it because of.
Right.
If it's there, you know, here, man. If I'm fucked up, here, let's eat together. That's how it was.
Okay.
You look out for me, I look out for you. You know what I mean?
So you were holding drugs, guns, money for him, and then the owner of the cleaners caught you.
Yeah, he found something, some drugs, and he like, yo, I can't have this in my store. Boom, boom, boom. You know, he didn't just fire me the first time, but you know, he kept an eye on me. You feel me? And then when I started hustling, when I met Lulu, I started hustling, and the product was so good. You feel me? People was knocking on the window like, "Come outside to clean us," and I'm making sales. So one thing led to the next. Now you can't do this in my store, so he wound up letting me go.
So you were basically drug dealing in the cleaners at one point.
Yeah.
Okay.
It started from, keeping it real, it started for me bootlegging liquor on Sundays.
Okay.
Like he would let me open up the store on Sundays, but I used to bootleg liquor on Sunday. I'd take my little $75, spend that at the liquor store, and then double that on Sundays by, you know, charging extra for liquor on Sunday because stores was closed.
Right.
Liquor stores was closed on Sunday.
Okay.
So that's how it started, then one thing led to the next.
So you get fired from the cleaners.
Yes, sir.
What happens next?
I'm in the game now. I'm on the game full time now. You feel me? Early morning to night.
Okay.
And then I went from making $75 a week to maybe like $10,000, $15,000 a week. Easy.
Okay. So you get fired from the cleaners, and now you need a way to make money. So you and Rich start to get tighter.
Like I said, Rich, I had met Lulu. Rich was doing what he do,
Okay.
the heroin, and I was moving coke.
Okay. And who is Lulu?
Lulu was a coke connector, like this Dominican, Colombian cat that I had met, you know, while I was in the cleaners. And
Okay. That's the tailor.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Not the tailor.
No. Oh, sorry. Okay.
In the cleaners. Lulu was a Dominican cat that I met. He used to be on 157th Street in the pool hall.
And how did you end up hooking up with Lulu?
Word of mouth. I want to plead the fifth on that, but keeping it
fair
real,
enough.
you know, I know y'all might be taking it from the screenplay paid in full.
Yeah.
And, some of that's real, but not factual. You feel me? The movies is the movies, and some things you could do and some things you can't do.
Yeah.
You feel me? But at the end of the day, I met Lulu at a pool hall. You feel me? And then one thing led to the next. This is what I do. Boom. And we took it to the streets.
And Lulu became your co-connect.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you kept that connect completely to yourself. You weren't trying to share that connect with anybody.
Keeping it, Lulu was dealing with others. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think we had a more personal relationship where he invited me to his home, and because he liked, how I move. I was quiet and low and making a lot of money for him. You feel me? So he gonna separate you from the others.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So and I think that's how we became like really, really close. I knew his moms, and she let me in the room, and you know what I mean? In the house, man. I'm in the house. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now where Lulu was Dominican, right? Where was Lulu getting his coke from? Was it?
I couldn't tell you that.
No idea.
I don't know. I don't have
Okay.
a clue. But now that we learn, it could have been the government or
Yeah.
through Pablo Escobar, whoever it could be. But I don't know.
Did you ever hear Pablo Escobar's name being mentioned during this time?
Nah, keeping it 100. Not really. Not at that time.
Yeah.
know.
That came later on.
Yeah, you see the documentaries, you see the stories.
Yeah. But at the time, Lulu,
Not at that time. Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
So Lulu was your connect, and you were getting the coke from Lulu, and then working with Rich to move it.
I was working for myself, opening up blocks, and I was moving it, man. It's like I can't cause it's like you moving it. The price is so good, the quality is so good, so now the whole hood coming to you.
Okay.
Because you got a cheaper price and you got good product. You understand? So it's moving. You understand? It went from 10,000 a day to maybe like 50,000. You feel me? It's flying. You understand? So now people want to come and be a part of what you're doing. So I'm getting to work. Rich might come and I give him a bird or two. And that's how it happened, man. I'm not trying to be like a boss. I was never that, and I'm not trying to, sound like that.
Yeah.
But
You were just a
it's
businessman.
like if Lulu give me 5 birds, I'm gonna take it to the streets. I might give Rich 1.
Okay.
Give this one 1. We finished, just keeping it,
Yeah.
doing what it do.
And a bird is a kilo of cocaine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're working with Lulu. You're getting these bricks of cocaine. Did you actually start building up your own crew of distributors and street guys to get it out on the street at the time? Or was it more like you're almost wholesaling it? Like, okay, here's a kilo, I'm gonna front you, bring me back this much, and then I'll give you the next one? Or did you have your own little operation?
The way we did it, the way I did it was basically, I get a bird, we had these bottles, right?
Okay.
You put them in the bottles, you sell the bottles, you sell a gram for like $30. You understand? Mm-hmm. People, before we came in the game, grams maybe was going for like $100. You get what I'm trying to say?
You got the kilos of cocaine. Explain to me how you actually started moving this stuff.
Basically break them down into bottles. Once you break them down into bottles, something that was going for $100 a gram, you feel me? You selling it for like $30 a gram. Now everybody coming to cop for me.
Right, you're undercutting everybody.
Not really undercutting them, it's just...
It is what it is.
You feel me? I guess, seemed like to me after the movie Scarface came out, coke was everywhere and prices was cheap. You understand? So, boom, in other words, if I get a kilo for like 40.
40,000.
40, right? Which back before then it was maybe 100,000.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm getting it for 40, if I bottle it up, you understand? I could make 10, 15,000, instead of trying to make 100,000 off a bird. You get what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. So if I do it like this, my flow is instead of moving one bird and trying to make 100,000 off of it, I'll move one bird and make 15,000 off of it, but I'll move 5 birds before you move that one bird.
Yeah.
So that's how I looked at it. And everybody could eat that way, you feel me?
Now the one thing about drug dealing and cocaine in particular is that, you come into it as a business, but, it's not like it's a friendly, happy environment where everyone's okay with competition and stuff like that. So once you start coming in and essentially undercutting everybody's prices, a lot of times violence gets involved. So when you start doing that, was there a certain amount of, pushback from the guys that were used to making a certain amount of money, and now you're, whether you want to it's not like you're trying to undercut them, but you are undercutting them?
See, in Harlem back then, keeping it 100, everybody was good. You feel me? Everybody was making money. Mm-hmm. You understand? If you taking care of everybody and your prices is maybe undercutting people, but the connects now is giving it to you at the same price so that you can be in competition.
Okay.
You understand? So it was all good.
Okay.
Nobody had no reason for violence or trouble in the 80s, like at that time. Mm-hmm. So it was all good. You can walk around with 10, 15,000 in your pocket. You can walk around with a medallion on your neck full of diamonds and not have to hide. It was all good. It was just good. Your girl making sure she's right. She got, minks. We pushing European joints. We buying cars like people buy sneakers today. Right. It was nothing. Mm-hmm. But then the bullshit happened. You feel me? It's like when 1990 come, it seemed like it was like a hit.
Okay.
On us. Like,
well, let's rewind for a second, because okay. We'll talk about that. About 1990 moving forward.
Okay.
So originally it was cocaine.
Yes, sir.
But then at one point, crack rock started coming in the picture.
Yes,
this
sir.
is the 80s.
Yes,
We're
sir.
still talking about the 80s. I interviewed Freeway Ricky Ross,
okay,
who was like one of the kingpins on the West Coast.
Respect.
Yeah, you guys know each other, right?
We talked on the phone before.
Yep. He told me originally it wasn't even called crack.
We don't call it crack. We call it Ready Rock.
Ready Rock.
Yeah, we never called it crack. That's a government term. That was the term the government used so they could hammer everybody.
When did crack first hit Harlem?
I believe that crack hit Harlem maybe, around 84. It might have been there before, but it wasn't mainstream.
Okay.
You feel me? What I mean by mainstream is like on the corners, putting in bottles. I believe that in Harlem, rich people used to freebase. Mm-hmm. That's what it was called, I think, freebase. It was, was basing before it was called crack, whatever. Then it was a spot that was on 145th Street. And that was like the first major crack spot to me that I saw. Like, that joint had to be making $100,000 a day.
A day.
A day, easy. But what's weird about it, when they got busted or raided that spot, they get right out because at that time, crack wasn't against the law to sell crack, because when they tested in the lab, it came back as baking soda.
Aha.
So a lot of cats flipped from selling heroin and coke and went to selling crack. Because you can't get no time for this. So this went on for about a year.
Right, because the police...
Until they made a law for it.
Because the police didn't realize it was actually cocaine mixed with baking soda yet.
Exactly.
Okay.
The police, I don't know, you understand what
right.
I'm saying.
So, when you look at the effects of crack, when you look back at it today, the effects were insane.
For sure.
When you, in the mid to late 80s, when you saw what was happening with crack in Harlem, what did you see?
I seen rich people, doctors, lawyers, beautiful women become monsters, man, like fiending for this shit. Like, you see the whole transformation. You understand? People robbing their own mothers, stealing and killing for crack, man. It was a big difference from selling coke. You understand? Coke keep you trying to be a little, cool about this, but crack, you just give up. You just thirsty. Like, I'll do whatever for this shit.
Right.
So I never, personally speaking, I never sold crack.
You never sold crack?
Nah, I only sold coke.
Okay. I mean, heroin had...
But it's no difference, because some people would buy the coke and you go cook
crack,
it.
cook
It's the same
crack.
thing.
But you never actually was
I
cooking
never
crack or
sold crack physically. Nah.
Okay. But granted, heroin had some pretty insanely horrible effects as well.
For sure.
Would you say the effects of heroin were worse than crack?
I don't come from that era, but it's still there.
Yeah.
It was in the Bronx. According to a lot of cats in the Bronx is making money off of heroin. But to see a person on heroin, like when Rich was doing it, it was like an early morning hustle. What I mean by, you got to be up like 6, 7 in the morning when you selling heroin, because people got to get their fix. Yeah. It's an early morning hustle. You feel what I'm saying? Yep. So they'll get up. Rich, your job will be done by, you start from 6, maybe or 12, and you finish hustling.
Yeah.
Because people, it's like they need that shit. It's like...
Yeah, well, you start to hurt without it, right?
Like a pharmacist, you need this. And people hooked on it, they got to have it, bro.
Okay.
So that's a... See, cocaine is a... You feel me? And heroin...
Different type of drug. Did you ever do cocaine yourself?
Nah.
Never touched it?
Nah, I'm not going to say I never touched it, because to be around a room full of it and you bagging it up, that shit going up in you. So I'm not going to say I wasn't high,
but you weren't sitting there doing hits.
That wasn't my thing.
Why?
It just wasn't my thing. I wasn't the type to get high, none of that shit.
Gotcha.
Drinking or none of that, bro.
Okay, so you didn't even drink or anything else like that. Okay, so as you started to really, you started to get bigger, into this game, you're flipping this stuff and not trying to make 100,000 each time. You're making 10, 15,000, so you're able to buy more and more bricks from Lulu.
I wasn't purchasing it. He give it to me, give me what I want.
Right, but then you pay him back.
Yeah, it's he like give you on consignment. Here, boom, here. You feel me?
What was like the most you ever got at one time?
The most, I'm gonna put it like this. I could get 50 birds, right?
50 bricks.
50 bricks, but it's 50 in the apartment if you need them. You feel me? I could take 10, and there's 100 if you need them. You get what I'm trying to say?
As many as you wanted, they were there.
Yes.
But the most you ever took was 50?
50, you feel me? At the most. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not stupid, like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where, I can't explain it, man.
No, I understand. Okay, so 50 kilos, and they're going for roughly 40,000 a kilo?
Yes, sir. Then the price went down at one time.
So
it went down to like 20 a bird.
Okay, so
You understand?
so if you took 50 at the 40,000 price point, you're essentially taking $2 million worth of cocaine
Yes, sir.
in one shot.
Yes, sir. Now hear me out though. Price. I hear what you're saying, but prices. I got birds at one. The lowest I ever got a bird was like 13,000.
Okay.
That's how cheap it became.
But you're essentially taking $1 million, $2 million, $500,000. You're taking huge amounts of money in terms of cocaine at any given one time.
Yes, sir.
You know, this is, and you were how old at the time?
19, 18.
18, 19 years old, playing with millions of dollars.
It was nothing, man. It
was nothing.
It seemed natural, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Everybody was, it didn't really seem like nothing because it was what it was, man.
What was happening between you and Rich?
Well, he getting money, I'm getting money. We having fun. We
Okay.
taking care of the hood. We making sure everybody eat.
And you guys
going
are
bus rides and having fun.
And you guys are a team?
We are Rich doing what he do.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing what I do.
Okay.
We are one, but he got his crew, I got my crew.
Okay.
You understand? So if we sat down and talked, yo, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You good? You sure? Boom. You feel me like that? But we wasn't.
You had your own crews?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How big was your crew at the time?
My crew was maybe a handful, man.
Okay,
like,
not a lot of people.
I didn't really deal with too many people.
Right.
You feel me? The less people you deal with, to me, the better you can see.
Okay. Now, at what point did Alpo come in the picture?
Alpo came in the picture when Rich got locked up.
And what did he get locked up for?
He got locked up. He was in a shootout. He got busted with the gun. He wound up doing a year.
That's it?
Yeah, they only charged him with the gun.
Okay.
He got busted with the gun, so they charged him with the gun. They didn't charge him for the shootout.
Okay.
So he wound up copping out for a year. And then that's when Alpo came in the spot. And Rich was like, that's my man, look out for him, make sure he good until I come home. And then I set him up right and, treated him like.
Family.
Yeah.
So you started fronting him cocaine?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, do you remember what the shootout was over that Rich got locked up over?
Not really, but according to history, L.A. was Rich man at first. He got murdered. And from somewhere you hear like these cats was looking for Rich. Rich kept the gun on him. He wound up getting to a shootout. It might have been them. Who knows?
Who knows?
You feel me? But at the end of the day, Rich wasn't going out like a sucker, so he kept a gun on him. He kept a vest on him. And he wound up catching a year behind that.
Now, what about yourself? Now, were you keeping a gun on you at the time?
Nah, man, keeping it 100. I never kept a gun on me. It
style.
was just all love with me, man. People
Did you have people around you that carried guns? Did you have bodyguards and stuff like that?
Like when times came when we felt that we had to go get that, we had to go get that. But it was we never was on it like that. In other words, we wasn't hunting people. We was the ones being hunted because we get money. So you got to defend yourself.
Absolutely.
You understand? At the end of the day. So, cats would come and be putting that shit in you. Yo, you got to watch out for this nigga. Yo, I'll look out. But I ain't even want that shit around me.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you just coming for some money, man. They can take this work and eat and shut the fuck up at the end of the day.
Right.
Leave all that shit out the door.
Now, at that point, were you involved in any shootouts or anything else like that? Any
No.
sort of extreme violence or nothing?
No.
No, you just did your business?
Get money and make sure everybody eat, pay to connect, everybody all right, everybody fly, everybody got cars, everybody eating. That's how I was playing.
Okay. Now, at one point, Lulu got killed?
Yeah, Lulu got killed.
Do you know what it was over?
I believe, I don't know exactly, but what I believe, like it's like after I got shot. You feel me? From the story, from the movie, it looked like Lulu got shot first, but I got shot first.
You got shot.
Yes, in real life.
What was the situation around that?
My situation is like my sister's boyfriend at the time. She was fucking with this cat, and he had he went to jail. So when he came home, you know, he stepped to me. "What's good, man? I hear you doing. Yeah, no problem. What's good? But I know you know, you're just coming home. I'm not gonna put you in the game, cause you feel me?
I don't know you yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave him some money. I think I gave him like 15,000 cash. Took him to the garage. "What car you want?" He took the Saab convertible. "Okay, take that." You feel me? You good, right? Then I gave him a cat that was moving a bird a week,
Okay.
a block. I said, "Yo, I'm gonna make sure you good with him."
Right.
Set him up right.
Because you weren't trying to sell drugs to him yourself.
Not sell drugs, you know, but not put him in a situation where he get in trouble.
Yeah. And then,
So you
and then
good.
point the finger at you.
Not even about point. It's not even that. It's like, I don't know how to put it, man. It's like, you my man. I'm going to make sure you good. I'm getting
Okay.
it. Here.
Gotcha.
We'll set you up correctly. This is what it is. You ain't got to touch nothing. All you got to do is get money, man.
Yeah. Okay.
But in his thoughts, what his intentions is, he maybe looking at it from a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
Like, damn, if he set me up like this, how much he got?
Okay.
You understand? And who knows what he was telling his homies while he was locked up in jail. You feel me? In jail is a whole nother world.
Yeah.
He might have been like, "Yo, when we get home, we gonna get this nigga."
Yeah.
I don't know. But when you come home, I could fix that thought. Here, here. You understand? Now, if
Absolutely.
you got another attention, if you up from the Bronx, if he was in the Bronx, and the cast that he was with was from the Bronx, if y'all seeing what I'm doing in Harlem, instead of y'all coming with the gun and trying to rob me and kill everybody in the house for peanuts, why don't we take what we doing in the Bronx, and if y'all that strong enough to gun people down like that in cold blood, let's set up shop in the Bronx and let's get money the same way.
Right, but not everyone.
Why
thinks,
you don't
yeah,
think that way?
Not everyone thinks long term.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's
Okay.
the problem. That's why you got some people that know how to give and some people know how to take.
So what happened in terms of the shooting?
What you mean?
Well, you say you got shot.
I got shot in the head twice, man, and 5 people was in that situation with me. You know, 3 people died, and 3 people lived.
Okay.
You feel me?
So what exactly happened on that day?
That day, I was playing ball on the east side, and we was playing these cats for, like $5,000. We lost the first game. We ran it back. We won the second game. They wanted to play again, but I was like, man, fuck it. I don't feel like playing no more because it became argumentative, like, well, you know, stupid shit. So we didn't play. We walked from the east side to our location, 132nd Street, where we be at. My man Sherman was like, "Yo, fam, we've been dry all day, so I had to shoot to the Bronx to where the drugs was at, which I didn't have much left. That was like, a little bit, maybe like about half a bird left. Mm-hmm. And I went from 132nd Street to the Bronx to my aunt's house. And when we walked into the situation, these cats was already up there. They had them in an apartment. And we walked into it, you feel me? And they snatched me in the living room, threw me on the floor, opened up the safe, smacked me with the gun. And one thing led to the next, man. They wound up shooting me in the head and shit.
They shot you in the head twice,
Yes, sir.
and 3 other people got killed.
Yes, sir. But when they shot me, man, I was gone. My spirit left the body, brother. I didn't really even know what was going on.
The three other people that got killed, those people, was that people close to you?
Yes, it was my aunt, Joanne Blue, her friend Myra Enoch, and my man Charlie C. lost his life. There was a young girl that was there named Lynette. She got shot, and another friend of my aunt's named Michael Lamar, he got shot. And they live just as well.
3 people died. Everyone else got shot.
Yes, sir.
And they took the money and the drugs and
They didn't really get no money, man, because I didn't open up the safe because they hit me in the head with the gun and blood coming all in my eye. You know you got to be precise to open up the safe. You feel me? So what they took out, they took what I had in my pocket, which was maybe, I think I had like 5,000 or 6,000 on me, and I had a chain on my neck that maybe was cost about 15,000. They took that and they left. You know?
Okay.
But
So who found you in the room? Oh, because I guess there was other people that were still living.
no, what happened was when I got shot, and this is real, my spirit left the body, man, and I guess I got shot 9 times, twice in the head.
You got
The rest
shot
was
9 times?
9 times, twice in the head, 1 in the neck, 1 in the shoulder, and the rest was in the leg. My leg got broke from the gunshot wounds.
Yeah.
So when I came back into the body, I got up off the floor,
You got up after getting
got up
shot.
off the floor
9
with the
times.
will of God, walked into the bedroom and seen all the bodies on the floor. And I felt guilty, man. I felt like it was my fault. Like, damn, man. Because I'm shaking people, nobody was responding. So I climbed in the bed, put the covers over me, my brother. And I just wanted to die, man. I wanted to wake up dead. Next thing you know, I woke up, I'm in the hospital with my moms and my sister and my girl over me saying, yo, who did this? Who did this? And that's how that happened, bro.
Okay. So you're in the hospital. They patch you up. At that point, were you thinking of revenge?
Being honest,
I mean, did you know who did it at that point? I mean,
I
these
knew
guys-
exactly who one cat was.
Okay.
I knew, the cat, Kevin Clark, I knew it was him.
The boy, your sister's boyfriend.
Yeah, I knew it was him.
They didn't have masks on or nothing,
They did have a mask on.
but you still recognize the
But
voice. Yeah.
to this day, I regret me knowing their voice because I felt like if I didn't know their voice, maybe they wouldn't have shot everybody. Maybe, but I recognized him and tried to talk to him like, yo, Kev, what you doing, man? Then that's when he flipped out. Don't say my fucking name. You know what I mean? That's when he started barking out, snatched the mask off, and
Oh, so you took the
started
mask
acting
off.
crazy. I guess that's when he said, fuck it, we gonna murder him anyway.
Right, because they know who I am at this point.
You understand? So that's what I think.
Okay. So what was your next thought? I mean, in terms of this situation, did you think you got to get back at these guys? Because, I mean, in the street game, if people feel they could shoot you and rob from you, it becomes difficult to do business.
Most definitely, but all right, let me put it like this. How would I put it? After that happened, when they asking me, my sisters and them, they all ask me, who did this, who did this, who did this? When I'm in the hospital, this is how the police approach me. I'm in the hospital, the doctor's trying to save me. The police come, the detectives, and I think a Bronx DA was with them. Because it was a serious situation, man. 5 people found shot up in the Bronx.
3 people dead.
Yes, sir. So when they came in, I'm halfway alive and half dead, man. But the doctors is like telling him we need to try to save him right now. I would call the district attorney or whoever he was. We need 5 minutes alone with him. This is what they told the doctors, and my family. Trying to recall. So the doctor said, I don't think he had 5 minutes. Huh? But they said, well, we need those 5 minutes. So my family and the doctors had to leave out the room. You know, family crying, screaming. They had to listen to the law. So they said, well, okay, we're going to put this tape recorder on your chest. Do you recognize this as a tape recorder? I'm like, yes, like, hurry the fuck up. You feel me?
Right.
So they asked me, you know, questions like, who's the president? I think Reagan was the president at that time. I said, Ronald Reagan. You know what I mean? And then, you see what this is? They, you know, a pencil. Okay, he's conscious.
Yeah.
They had to make, I guess, that irrelevant. Was you present at 1295, the Grand Concourse at a certain time, blah, 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 blah? Yes. You feel me? Who was you with? You know they're all dead, right? You know you're the only one that could, you know you're dying, right? I said, now what, dude?
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So all these things they telling you, I don't know the other two cats. You feel me? So who shot you? And I was like, Kevin. You feel me? It was like, Kevin who? I said, my sister's boyfriend. I didn't really think I knew his last name at that time, personally speaking.
Yeah.
So, did he act alone? I said, no, he had two others with him. Did he know what he shot you with? What type of gun? I said, I don't know, man. And then it seemed like my spirit again left my body, man. And now I could look and see from a spiritual perspective, like, I'm dead. So now they asking me questions and I'm not answering. They grabbed my pulse and they took the tape recorder, like, he's out of here, and left. As soon as they left, seemed like my spirit went back into my body. The doctor came, grabbed me. He's like, you okay? I said, yeah. It's like if I didn't, my spirit, it's like God saved me, bro. Not just from getting shot, but from the questioning, you know, it's deep, man. It's deeper than what people can see, man.
Okay. So you told the police
That it was my sister's boyfriend, yes,
Okay.
sir.
Did they go and scoop him up after that?
He didn't get scooped up right after that. I think he was on the run, and he wound up turning himself in somewhere in Philly, I believe,
Okay.
to my knowledge. Yes,
Okay.
sir. And then he wound up telling on the other two cats. I think he told the police he was there, but he didn't do no shooting. But the police, they took 3 different bullets out of me and took different bullets out of the rest of them. So they basically said, okay, well, you feel me? You didn't act, you know, somebody had 2 guns, you know?
Yeah.
That's how that went down.
Did you have to testify against him or anything else like that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Now, when you look at like the street code about, you know, snitching and working with the police and everything else like that, was there any sort of repercussions in terms of that?
Repercussions physically, no. But verbally, yes, because you hear little things, and the person that you hear it from, that's a part of you, that hurts more so than cats that you don't even give a fuck, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be talking because they don't know the situation. My situation was that situation, and I don't regret my situation.
Yeah.
You understand? They tried to murder me, and they had no reason to do that, under no circumstance.
Yeah.
They just didn't try to take my life, but 5 other people, man. Y'all, cold-blooded murders for what? For no reason.
Right. For some money.
Anything you would have asked me for, I would have gave it to you. So there was no reason for that. And to me, now people might feel another way. I could have paid someone to retaliate. Cash was coming all day.
Yeah.
But I know the police was right there, waiting for that.
Waiting for you to.
Waiting for that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put you in a situation because you in this thirsty for some money.
You would have had to do
I'm
it.
looking at the big picture like, nah, I'm going to let the universe deal with this.
Right, because you would have had to do it yourself, essentially.
You
at that
understand?
point. And then the police are waiting for that, too.
Come on, I'm not no fool here.
Yeah.
You understand? So at the end of the day, I don't care what no one says. And to me, I did not snitch on Rich. I did not snitch on Alpo or anybody, Lulu, that we was a part of getting money with.
Right.
That wasn't my situation, man.
Right. And you weren't trying to lessen your sentence. It's like you got caught with drugs.
Nah,
and
I
it was trying
didn't
to
get
lessen
caught
your
with no
sentence.
drugs or none of that
It
shit.
was trying to lessen it by telling on other
None
people.
of that shit.
It was just over the murders.
And the situation was like this. I didn't want to take the stand, personally speaking.
Yeah.
You feel me? But my lawyer advised me to do it because they're going to be on you afterwards. You're already on the radar now. Who is this fucking kid? You understand? Because when I got shot, it was like 1,000 people or more at the hospital. Outside, like. So that raises curiosity.
Yeah.
So my lawyer advised me to like, yo, you should, but this is what I'm gonna have them do. I'm gonna have them grant you immunity. Anything that they question you about on the stand cannot be used against you from this point on back.
To implicate you in the drug deal.
From August 20th on back. You feel me?
Yeah.
So go ahead. Because, they really wanted to know, these dudes. And one of the cats that shot me, this is real tough, was one of the cats that they first brought up, juveniles could get locked up when they 15. He was one of those dudes. He did his time and he came home and he did this situation, did this. So that's what they was really trying to implicate the reason why they put this type of people away. You understand? So
Yeah.
it was weird, man.
Okay.
The situation was really weird.
So the shooting happened, you get out of the hospital, you testify against your sister's boyfriend. He gets locked up.
Yes, sir.
The other guys get locked up
Yes, sir.
also. You go back to drug dealing or?
I don't dive in the game knee deep.
Okay. Because Lulu's still alive.
Lulu's still alive.
Yeah.
Lulu's still alive.
But they're watching you.
They're not watching Lulu.
No, but they're watching you. The
They're
police are
watching me
you.
now. Now
Yeah.
this is real too. Let me say this. And this is real talk. When I was in the hospital, in order to come visit me in the hospital, you had to go to the precinct, get fingerprinted, and get a picture taken of you
Wow.
to come visit me.
Okay.
Rich didn't come, and I understood.
Yeah.
Alpo didn't come, and I understood. My family came,
Yeah.
but Lulu came.
Really?
Lulu came. That's how much love that he had for me. So I respect Lulu.
So he's putting himself on the
He
police
didn't
radar.
care about none of that, bro. It's my man. They killed. They tried to. He wanted to see me, and I respected that.
Okay.
When I came home out of the hospital, he came to the house. Yo, here. I know they took this from you here. He gave me like some birds for free. I'm like, yo, Lulu, not now, man. I can't go back. He said, no, when you get right, you go do what you do. I'm gonna make this move, and I'm gonna leave it alone. This is what he told me. You understand? He made a big move, and he gonna hit the streets, and he gonna leave it alone. He made the move, but I guess he may be thinking everybody's like me. You could just give a person. Some people ain't like me, man. Some people look at this as an opportunity. If a nigga give me 100 birds, I could take one and give it to a nigga to kill Lulu. And I think that's what happened to Lulu. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, okay, I'm a little confused. So Lulu gives you a bunch of bricks of cocaine.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember how many? Was it a lot?
5.
5 bricks.
4.
Okay,
the
so
most.
for you, that's not a lot.
It's not a lot, but come on, man. So
Right.
that's like somebody giving you $200,000.
Okay, and then people saw that as a weakness with Lulu?
Nah, people didn't see that as a weakness with Lulu. Nobody saw that. Nobody even saw that. That was me
That
and
was
Lulu
between you and
business.
him,
You
right.
feel me? Nobody knew that. We not putting that on blast.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, here I am. I'm Lulu. I can give Azie what he wants. He pays me. It's nothing. So that's my mindset now. if I meet someone else, it could be you. If I give you 100 bricks, you thinking like, you're gonna pay me. You have a different attention. You have a different agenda.
Yeah.
Wow, 100 bricks? I gotta give him 2 million? Fuck that. I'll give this one kid 1 brick, have him kill Lulu, and I get off with the 2 million.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened to Lulu.
That's what happened.
You understand what I'm saying?
So Lulu gets killed. Did you actually? I remember in the movie you came to his house and you found him dead and everything else.
Not true. None of that took place.
None
That's
of that
not
shit
real
took
life.
place. But then you find out that Lulu's gotten killed.
Yes, sir.
Now, I think in the movie you end up going to his connect. And
That's not true.
not true.
Not true.
None of that
That's
happened.
the movie.
Okay, look, we all need some extra money. I need some extra money right now. Who doesn't need extra money? Well, if you need some extra money, which I'm sure you do, I got a really easy way for you to do it. Driving with Uber. Uber is a smartphone app that connects riders with drivers. So as a driver, you can make extra money driving your own car. And look, it's completely flexible. You don't have to quit your day job to make extra money. You can make extra money on your own schedule. Whenever you need to make extra money, just turn on the app and drive. Look, you get a couple hours here, a couple hours there, maybe even go the whole day. Next thing you know, you're making a bunch of extra money. It's completely easy to get started. First, to go to drivewithuber.com, sign up for free. You can do it right now on your phone, right now. Second, answer a few basic questions about you and your car, and get approved. Third, boom, start driving. Start making extra money. That's all there is to it. It's completely easy. So look, start enjoying the flexibility of working when you want to and earning extra money on your own schedule. Sign up to Drive with Uber today. Go to drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com. Drivewithuber.com. What happened after Lulu got killed?
After Lulu get killed, there's other players involved, other connects. There's mad connects running around. It's mad connects. But after Lulu get killed, I'm not playing that hard no more. So I'm not even looking for that world. Rich more so got to connect now. You feel me? He met this cat from 12th Street, Fritz. Now Fritz was a black guy, and he got a lot of drugs, so he hitting Rich now. And Rich was selling crack now. And the crack game is much faster than the coke game.
Yeah.
You feel me? He's selling bottles this fucking big for like $5 all night and day. And that Rich making a lot of money.
Yeah.
You feel me? Maybe double the money that I was making with the coke. You understand? So we in a whole nother bracket now. So so I'm not even looking to get 5 and 40 bricks. I could go buy me 1 or 2 from somebody that got it and just hold down my little situation. I'm not trying to be, what that was no more.
Well, why not just get out of it altogether at that point? I mean,
Because
you almost die. People close to you are dead. Clearly, this is not a fun and games anymore.
It's more like, how would I put it, man? You still like nice things and shit. Mm-hmm. Keeping it 100. You feel me? You still want the latest car.
Right.
You still trying to keep up with that shit. Right. So
and there's no plan B.
Nah. And in plan B, you got people robbing you. If you try to take your money and open up a restaurant or a skating rink, those people are worse than the streets because they know where you're coming from. So they ask you, well, you got to do this, and all that should be bullshit, but you're giving up your money, so it's really hard to really even get out the game.
Okay.
You really got to go cold turkey, get a job and shit, and say, fuck it.
Right.
You understand?
And it's not like you had a whole bunch of money. You didn't have millions stashed away where you could just
I
retire.
was good keeping it 100, but your bills is high.
Yeah.
You feel me? My mortgage and certain things is high.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you maybe got a mortgage of $5,000 a month. So you don't want to, But then it came after Rich died. That's when I'm done. I don't give a fuck, man.
Okay. So how does Rich Porter get killed?
Rich Porter get killed. Let me share this with you. I remember the night. I remember the day. I had came to my mother's house, and Rich's sister was there with my mother and my family. And she told me that her brother, this was my girl at the time, Pat, she said, my little brother didn't come home from school yet. It was like 6 or 7 o'clock. I'm like, what? She said, I'm gonna run to my mother's house and see what's going on. I was like, damn, that's crazy. I'll be there in a minute. I had to do something. And when I was finished, I went over there. Rich was there, and his sister was there. His mother was there. And I remember Rich, his leg was shaking like he wasn't saying nothing, like, what the fuck is going on? And then the phone rung. And he told me, like, yo, come in. And he was talking, he was saying, like, yo, yeah, we got your brother, blah, 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 blah. Nigga, we want $500,000, boom, boom, boom.
Rich Porter's brother.
Yeah, this is
Little brother. How old was he at the time?
13 years old.
13 years old, yeah.
So Rich was like, man, I ain't giving you shit or whatever. I ain't got it, man. And they hung up. And Rich was like, yo, you heard his voice? And I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. And he was like, like upset. Then, Rich being Rich, he mad, and he really want to find who the fuck is behind this. And he started calling cats. I think he called this cat. And at that time, they didn't have ID for the phones. But this cat had one. I think like when they first started, he had one. So he brought the ID to the house, and they was waiting for him to call back, but the shit didn't register. And when they called back, they was like, you think it's gonna be this? You think we playing? Whatever, go to McDonald's on 125th Street, motherfucker. It's the package there for you in the bathroom. So Rich sent somebody over there, I believe, and they came back, they didn't see anything. So he sent somebody back over there, and they came back, I think, with a coffee can with Rich's little brother finger and a tape recorder with his little brother crying, pleading for his life. You understand? I believe Pat, Rich's sister, she ran out the door, fuck everybody, to the precinct. And that's when the police got involved. And they sent people over looking like me and you, walked in. I think whatever they did to tap the phone and wait for the phone call, but they never called back. Mm-hmm. To me, I felt right then it was somebody within the circle.
Yeah.
Because they know exactly every move. You understand? Mm-hmm. And which we find later on, it was Rich's uncle that kidnapped his little brother.
Rich's uncle kidnapped his nephew.
Yes, sir. His mother's brother, yes, sir.
In order to extort Rich
for $500,000.
For $500,000.
Because he's there on the set. He see how much money's being made.
Yeah.
So you can't lie to him that it ain't there. So he knows what's going on.
Why didn't Rich agree, give him $50,000, $100,000, something?
He did after they called back again. All right, we gonna get the paper for you, no problem.
Yeah.
The police is involved now.
Okay.
After the finger.
So there was no.
You understand?
Yeah.
But he knows now. So to me personally speaking, I don't know. But after the police got involved, they might have panicked and they had to kill the little boy now.
Yeah.
But Rich man, Fritz, he come to Rich rescue, like, here, boom, give him this. If they call back. Give him 30 birds. Right? So they never call back, but the uncle's on deck, he's seeing this. So now he maybe act like a letter came to the art house, because he want those 30 birds, man. So the letter come, yo, look, they sent the letter. Rich read the letter, but Rich passed the letter to the feds, to the police. So now he was supposed to meet at a street phone, and they were gonna call it a street phone. The feds, Rich don't want to go. You feel me? They dress up. I think it might even been Pat to go to the phone, but dressed up like a boy, I believe. Not to go answer the phone. But the uncle on deck, he knows the phone never rings.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how wicked and how deep the game is, bro. But nobody noticed. But in me, I didn't know it was him,
Knew it was someone
but someone
right there. So the uncle was
is recount, every move.
right. So the uncle's hanging out with y'all,
Yes, sir. He in the midst.
watching all this happen.
He in the midst with them, yes, sir.
And what he had like a group of his guys basically with
Yes.
with
Yes,
the
sir.
little boy.
Yes, sir.
And he's going back and telling them
Yes,
like,
sir.
okay, this is going wrong. The
Yes,
feds
sir.
are involved. We're gonna have to
Yes,
kill
sir.
the boy.
I think he was already, personally speaking, I think he was already dead.
Already dead.
Killed them, wrapped them in 14 garbage bags, and left them up in Orchard Beach.
Okay.
So now, Rich got the 30 birds. He called on Poe,
Alpo.
because he can't move, he can't touch nothing to help him get rid of it.
Right, because the feds are already involved.
They around, you feel me?
Okay, and they find that the police find the body.
They didn't find the body yet.
Okay.
The boy missing.
Boy
Nobody
still
knows we're down there out for about a month.
Oh, okay.
About a month. Nobody knows. So he wound up calling on Poe, help me get rid of these joints. Da, 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 da. How would I put it? The situation is nasty. Poe know it's nasty. Everybody on panic mode. Feds involved. They question it. Who's who, what's what. It's coming to an end. Game over. It's coming to an end.
Yeah.
I guess so everybody looking like, yo, how I'm gonna get out of this shit? I look at it like, here's an opportunity for me to get out of this shit. Rich gets murdered. Poe get off with the birds.
Rich gets killed.
Yes, sir. Poe kills Rich. Poe, I believe, walk away with the birds. You feel me?
At the time, how much was a brick of cocaine going for?
At that time, I believe the prices had went up to about 25 around that time.
Okay, so let's just do some math here. 30 bricks times 25,000. $750,000.
Yes, sir.
So you're talking about maybe $1.5 million, $2 million
Yes, sir.
worth of cocaine in terms of the street value.
Yes, sir.
Alpo kills Rich.
Mm-hmm.
You know how he kills him?
I don't know. I don't even know he did it at the time, personally speaking.
So, but Rich ends
But
up dead.
This is what happened. We was playing ball on the east side the night that Rich died. Me and my friends, late at night, we playing ball for a few dollars and shit. And we hear some gunshots because of the highway. But we don't think that is real. We just like, damn, somebody just lost their life. This is what we just say while we was playing ball. All right, so we come back to the block, go to the store, get some water. It's like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And the Suzuki Jeep was creeping around on the opposite side of the street. And I look, I'm like, damn, that look like Alpo in that car. I just waved my hand. He waved, swung a U, came around the block, pulled over. And he was like, what's up, man? And he had scratches on his face, like deep scratches in his face. I'm like, damn, what the fuck happened to you? Well, the scratches looked like he was still bleeding. And he was like, nah, my girl, man, DC, man, we had a fight. Shit. I'm like, wow, damn, you don't heal easy then, because you look like you still bleeding. But I'm blind to the matter of what took place. So this cat had drove past. He was like, oh, who that? It was this cat. He was, that nigga owe me some money. I'll be back. So he jumped in the car. He had some other cat with him. I didn't even know who he was. He jumped in the car and he drove and he followed the dude. So after that, this girl had walked up on me. She's like, what's up? I was looking for you. You supposed to go? You gonna hang out with me? I said, all right, no problem. But I said, let me go home and get a change of clothes first. I said, you driving. She got to give her the keys to the car, so she drove. I lived down the block at that time. So she drove down the block. My man and them, they got in their cars, they pulled off, and they left. And when we pulled up in front of the building, I got out the car, about to walk upstairs. Alpo pulled up in the car, was like, yo, hey, come here for a minute. And one of my friends had pulled up on me. He said, yo, hey, he was like calling me, both of them was calling me at the same time. And my man was like, yo, hey, it's important, it's important. So when I went to him first, I told Poe, I said, 1 second. I went to him, he said, yo, dog, don't go over there. I said, why you say, see, yo, that nigga was in the cut, like, laying. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah. I said, all right. So I said, all right, give me a minute, Poe. I went upstairs. You understand? And I came back down. I didn't know what was going on. But when I came back down, he wasn't there. So I got in the car with the girl, and we drove to the Bronx. And when I drove to the Bronx, we had beepers back then. Yeah. My beeper was going off 911, 911, and it was my mom's calling me. So I went to the phone, left her in the car, went to the phone, called my mother. She was like, you know they found Pat's brother. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. But in my gut, I already felt that Donnell was dead. So I'm thinking she was talking about Donnell at the time. And I was like, damn. So right after that, my beeper went off again. It was Pat calling me. And I was like, I'm gonna call her right now. I'm gonna hung up, call Pat, which was Rich sister. She crying. I was like, I heard. And she was like, yo, they killed Rich. I was like, what? And like the phone dropped. And, you know, I don't know, man. It's like I seen Alpo standing right in front of me with scratches on his face and shit. And I didn't even pick back up the phone, bro. I walked to the car, got in the car with the girl. She was like, everything all right? I said, yo, let's just go to your house. She said, I'm gonna go get something to eat for her. I said, all right. And I didn't say anything. Went in the house, got in the bed. You know, she, you know, listen, take some money, just leave me alone, yeah. Let me stay in this room. Because my mind was, I'm crazy, like, what the fuck is going on?
You're paranoid. Yeah.
I woke up, I went to sleep. I maybe woke up like about 3 o'clock the next day. Drove to the block crowded, everybody crying and shit. I'm like, wow, man, this shit really, as soon as I pull up, Alpo pull up. Like, he crying, what happened? And I looked at him, he looked at me, and he just went back to his car, got in his car and left. And that's when I knew, like, wow, man. You know, like, that's when I knew. Before people knew, that's when I knew, like, that he did that to Rich, man. Okay. You understand what I'm saying?
So, after that, Alpo gets caught?
He didn't get caught.
For the murder?
He didn't get caught for the murder. Life went on. Life goes on.
Okay.
Nobody knows, but in my spirit, I'm thinking, like, homie did that. You know, we don't know. Nobody knows. For a fact, it's not a fact. And I'm not putting it out there like that.
Yeah.
You understand? But when I was talking to Pat, because the feds is involved, you know, they found Rich. I had told Pat, keeping it 100, I said, yo, Pat, if you tell them to look under Rich's fingernails and shit and see if he was fighting for his life, you might find who did this to Rich.
Yeah.
You understand? So I don't know what went on after that, because people was getting murdered in the streets left and right. And I was living in Long Island then, and people was getting murdered so much. I said, I'm just going to stay in for a minute, man, and let this shit just bubble over, because it was crazy, man. People was getting murdered in cold blood in the streets. It seemed like how everybody that was in the game was just falling like flies. Mm-hmm. That was somebody that was amongst us, you know, like, getting murdered. And I couldn't understand it, so I just stayed in for a minute. And when I did come out, I had a car that I had parked. I had a house in Long Island, and I had the apartment on Links Terrace, and in the back of Links Terrace, I had a parking lot, and I had one of my cars there, and it was dirty, because, you know, but in dust, someone wrote, "You next, motherfucker." You understand? So I'm like, wow. Maybe if I'd have went to that car that night, and my man didn't come and holler at me, I might not be here doing this video, not be able to write the movie, not be able to tell the story.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's how deep this shit is.
So at what point did Alpo get arrested?
After he was in Harlem, he went out to D.C. doing what he do, whatever out in D.C. And I think, according to what they say on these documentaries and reading, a lot of people lost their lives. Just laying down a lot of people, and I don't see, to me personally speaking, I don't understand the reason for murder if it was about money, everybody getting money.
Yeah.
Not unless it's something other hidden agenda that, I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's deep to me, fam. Okay. And I still believe that when you learn about situations, how the government set up people, like the movie, what's the name of that film? Deep Cover?
Yeah.
You don't know if these people was police all along, man.
Undercover.
And they can't blow their cover. But they got a badge to play the game, man. That's how wicked this shit is. You playing from a street point of view, breaking the law, and you got to dodge the cops, but you might be working with one of them dudes. They could take your head off at any given time.
Legally
with a badge. Go any motherfucking where they want to go and do this. So that's the question that lurks inside of me. It's like, damn, who is this dude?
You mean Alpo?
Whoever.
Okay.
Poe and many others.
Alpo's out in D.C. selling drugs.
Mm-hmm. It's even like in the gangs today, man. Like all these young kids getting murdered. And it ain't really no money in the streets, but people are getting murdered in cold blood every fucking day.
Right.
From gang violence, for what?
So at what point does Alpo actually get arrested?
D.C., he get locked up, I think in '93.
Okay, for what?
For bodies, for murders. The dude, I think Wayne Perry or something like that. He posted told on Wayne Perry. It's, after Rich, man, I pull out. But you hear the stories. Mm-hmm. You hear all the crazy shit, and it just makes you wonder why. And I just can't see it being about money, man. I think it was a deeper agenda, bro. According to what I hear, he told on a lot of people because they was going to give him the chair. So he said, fuck that. This is what I hear.
Does Alpo officially get connected to Rich Porter's murder?
He admits to it.
He admits to it?
Yes, sir.
So he said, I killed Rich Porter.
He admits to that.
That's where the scratches came from.
I don't know if he's saying that's where the scratches came from.
But it doesn't matter.
But he admits to killing Rich, but he did that. He didn't do that to the little boy.
Yeah.
You understand? So eventually, I think maybe like in '95, they caught that crew that did that.
The uncle.
And one of the uncle, but he was working for someone, and I think he told on everybody in his organization, and he said that he didn't have nothing to do with that situation. Mm-hmm. That was called by the uncle. You feel me? But he was murdering a lot of people in Harlem just as well, storing cats and doing that. Okay. So that's what happened with that situation.
Okay, so Alpo gets locked up in '93. He admits to killing Rich Porter.
Yes, sir.
That just sent shockwaves through Harlem? Or did people already
I'm going to put it like this. You see Scarface?
Yeah.
That sent the shockwave through Harlem and through people like when Scarface killed this man. Yeah. You feel me? Like, damn, why you do that? You feel me? Because they was like that. It was like if Rich bust out with the M3, Poe would bust out with. It was a thing, like, it's like we was on a stage and the people looking at this performance, how do you kill your man? That's how it was. Like, oh, baby. That's how that was. And people maybe still don't accept that. Like, it's incredible.
Okay, so Alpo admits to murder. And he admits to multiple murders?
I believe so.
Okay. But because he tells on other people, they lower his sentence.
I'm not sure, because you hear one thing, you hear another thing, you hear this, you hear that. I don't know. I don't have the details to that, man, but there's something shady about all that to me, so I just don't.
But Alpo gets out.
I don't know. This is what I hear. I heard he's home now. A lot of people say Alpo's home, but they've been saying this 5, 6 years ago.
Okay, because I had heard that he's in witness protection. That was the word I heard, but then again, I'm not very connected to this whole thing.
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Okay, and you never try to reach out to him in prison or nothing? No.
We spoke.
You spoke?
We spoke a few times when he was locked up.
Really?
We spoke like twice.
And what was that conversation about?
The first conversation was, I'm trying to write a movie about this shit.
Okay.
And he told this girl I knew where he was at, and we met. We were supposed to meet at his. I met at her house. He was gonna call at a certain time, and he called, and I told him, and I asked him like, "Yo, why, man?" And he was like, "Yo, man, nigga, Rich lied, man, about connect, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." But he was like, Rich gave him the birds at a certain price, and he should have gave it to him at a different price. This is the reason why he did that. Rich fucked him out about 200,000 or 300,000. You know, whatever he said. But I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm trying to do a movie. That was my whole issue of speaking to him, because I didn't want to just write a movie and not, you know, have him co-sign. He's like, all right, no problem, man. Whatever. I think he had signed the paper what he needed to sign, and the movie was I wrote the movie, which was entitled Trap, and trying to steer the generation that I saw following us into a different direction, but it came out as Paid in Full. That's another story within itself.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I spoke to him then I spoke to him again. K-Slade wanted us to do something called Face Off on one of his mixtapes.
Yeah.
And we spoke then. And Troy Reeds had set up a situation one time when we spoke then, because we were doing the documentary, The Game Over.
Yeah.
And that's the times we spoke. And there was no hard feelings in the conversation. You understand? It was like, all right, okay, man. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and that's that. You feel me? And there was no hard feelings, bro.
And you never ended up going to prison?
Nah.
Okay.
Not for that. I didn't really never go to prison. I got locked up before a few times.
But
not for drug dealing and all that like that.
So you essentially were one of the ones that actually got out without being dead or locked up forever.
Yes, sir. But
you did.
Hear me out, my brother.
But you did get shot up pretty badly.
You got shot up pretty badly.
Lost family members.
Lost family members.
Lost friends.
Lost friends. Constantly being looked at as, you know, a drug dealer. That's it, that's all. That hurts. You feel me? Mm-hmm. When you move into a community and when you first get there, you're like, cool, somewhere peace. But then when someone in the community find out who you are, now the whole community sign a petition to get you out of there in fear of their lives. People don't see that part of the game. You understand? So it's weird, bro. It's weird. You looking at a lot of cats, yo, I'm ace, I'm out, you know, but you're not really seeing, like, damn, bro. You gotta stay low. You know, your life is in jeopardy every fucking day. Yeah. Cause you don't know who's who.
Right. Old beefs and
you
so
understand?
forth.
Not even old beefs, man. It's like you don't know, man. You don't know, because truth alone could get you murdered, bro. people don't want you to tell the truth, man.
Yeah.
And you trying to do it to help save a generation. They don't want that.
So you wrote the story that eventually became, well, first it was
Trap. I wrote it.
You wrote
Trap.
Trap.
Yes, sir.
which eventually became the Game Over.
Came paid in full in the movies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but Game Over was like the DVD.
Game Over was a DVD that me and Troy Reeve put together.
Yeah, which was big in New York.
Yes, sir.
And then that became the major movie, Paid in Full.
Yes, sir.
Which I think what Dame Dash was involved in, Steve Rifkin I think was involved in.
Yes, Rockefeller,
Rockefeller.
Miramax.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And when you look at the final product of Paid in Full, were you happy with it?
Good movie. Don't get me wrong.
It's a classic.
Good movie, man. Excellent cast. Everybody played their role to perfection. Cameron did a good role playing Alpo. Wood Harris played a good role playing me.
Yeah.
Lulu, good role, good movie, man. But at the end of the film, why do you make it look like I was wearing a wire and told on Alpo?
Which that never happened.
Never happened, bro. So here I present a film to them, Trap, to try to save a generation. Like, wake up, man. Why do y'all destroy my character to the streets, that who I'm trying to talk to make it look like I was a snitch? So that they can't hear the message. Because who want to listen to a snitch?
Yeah.
So that's when I, question, who are these guys? Maybe they're all one, trying to solidify what they're doing is right and we're wrong. Huh? Now, if this is true, how the government was using the game to finance a war, we was making so that y'all could finance the war. So
Right.
Are we guilty if we were set up to do this? Because in those days, man, we had cheese lines wrapped around the block. People on, buying drugs. Police ride right by like it was nothing.
Right.
From about 84 to 90. And that's when, after 90, they came in.
Right. Well, we interviewed Freeway Rick Ross, and it was established in terms of how he was used in the whole Iran-Contra thing.
Well, my role was that Blandon would bring me drugs to sell to raise money for the Contras. The Contras was backed by the CIA, which was Ronald Reagan and George Bush's pet peeve, George Bush Sr.'s pet peeve. They felt that if they lost Nicaragua, that Russia would be marching down the streets of the United States.
Okay, but where's the Iran part?
Well, they sold guns to Iran and took the money and gave it to the Contras.
But then they were also selling drugs, well, they're allowing drugs to pass through into America and using that money and putting it to the Contras as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But the initial money come from Iran because the Congress had said that they couldn't give the Contras any money. So they had to get it from a source that nobody would know about. It's so much there. You really got to do your homework. And then, they also had the hostages in Iran that Ronald Reagan was able to get loose because he was going to give them weapons for the hostages along with getting some money.
How much of this did you actually know about?
None. I
So-
learned
so-
all this while I was in jail.
Okay, so when you were actually selling drugs and so forth, did it seem...
I didn't care about Iran.
Yeah. You didn't care about
None of that stuff.
the Contras in Nicaragua, nothing. You were just selling drugs and making
Man,
money.
let's make some money.
All this is happening, and the CIA is actually overlooking this whole process, right?
From what I understand.
From what you understand.
Yeah. I didn't see the CIA doing it, but they came back and said, yeah, we were watching them.
And there was the whole thing of like, we'll run the drugs into these black communities where they kill each other, but no one calls the police. Things, the murders essentially go unsolved. Nobody cares.
Exactly.
And here's a great way for us to basically make our money. without raising too much media attention.
But in the midst of that, right, this is what I look at. In the midst of that, you're going to have your players planted in there so that you can know who's who.
Yeah.
You understand? So these are the cats that, like, wow. You feel me? So, but I'm new to this at that time. But I learned, like, oh, shit. Like, okay, now I see who's who and what's what, man.
Yeah.
But that's a danger to know. You understand?
Sure.
That's because they come on, you can't expose these people, man.
You ended up starting a rap group,
Yes, sir.
Mob Style.
Yes, sir.
It was you and who else?
I started it after I got shot. Once again, I was trying to tell my story like, look, man, yo, shorty, this ain't the way to go. But everybody love a gangster. Everybody love Scarface. Everybody love, you know, the street star and shit.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, okay, rap was the next thing popping. If they ain't hustling, if I want to be a rapper. So let me try something. I didn't know how to rap. I was just popping shit. But I wrote a song called Mob Style. But if you listen to the song, it's telling my story. You feel me? And at the end of the song, I'm telling you, give it up, it ain't no use. This is not the way to go. Right? The people loved it. Harlem loved it. So my thing was to like, okay, we don't have to sell drugs. We can make money off of freedom of speech. Huh? Mm-hmm. Make more money. That's why I started the group Mob Style. With who was around me, my friends, Lulu, Pretty Tone, and my man Whip. We wasn't no rappers, but we knew the lifestyle.
We were hustlers.
We was we was involved with it. So what we telling you is real shit.
And you guys were sort of the original East Coast gangster rappers.
Yes, sir. We started that shit.
You started gangster rap.
On this coast.
On the East Coast.
On this coast.
Out there you had Ice-T.
I think Azie might have been the father.
Yeah. What year did Mob Style come out?
89.
89.
But the song didn't come out till like 1990.
Yeah. So it was right around the same time as NWA, maybe a little bit earlier, but right around the same time.
Yes, sir.
What eventually happened to Mob Style?
Mob Style, all right, we had a situation, after we did the album, The Good, The Bad, The Ugly, because that's what we titled it, you naming that it was good, bad, or ugly. But the name of the album, being honest, that was the name of our clique, was going to be called The Good, The Bad, The Ugly. But when the people bought the CD, or it wasn't even a CD, there was cassette tape. When they bought the cassette tape, everybody was calling us Mob Style and the album Good, The Bad, The Ugly, so we just ran with Mob Style because that's what the people named it.
Yeah.
A situation, this cat was working for BLS, my other sister's boyfriend, and I gave him the CD. He played the song on the radio, and you know, you look out for certain DJs, give them some payola, they spinning it.
Yeah.
And the streets was loving it, and people was buying it in the streets, but we never had a deal. But Columbia Records, I believe, had stepped to us, and they gave us a situation where we was going to sign with them for about $300,000 and guaranteed 2 videos or whatever. So the day of the signing, one of my men, like Tone, he didn't show up because he had a situation with, what's the name of that label? Def
Jam?
Def America.
Oh, Def America. Oh, yeah, Rick Rubin's label.
Rick Rubin, I believe, signed Tone on the side, but he gave him some peanuts and shit. So Columbia was like, nah, we wanted the whole group. So that fucked up that situation, which to me was them saying yes, but saying no, because who we was. You understand?
Yeah.
You understand? But I believe, and I always say that, we never got a deal, and we didn't sell millions of records, but our shit was bootlegged in the hoods and the streets. People making money off our CDs, they selling that shit like drugs, $20 a cassette, you know, in certain record stores and shit. And it went hood platinum to me.
Right. So this was your label, your own thing that came
Yes.
out. It was never anyone associated with it.
Nah. But at the end of the day, I'm saying this to say it never blew up. But I know for a fact that a lot of these cats, maybe your best rappers out there today, man, they took our true prints to create their blueprints.
True prints to create their blueprints.
Yes, sir. Because this was real, and everybody knew this story was real.
Now, the rapper Azie came out.
Yes, sir.
You ended up suing him?
Let me fix that. Let me tell you how that took place. A friend of mine from Sugar Hill Records, I think his name, Big Scutch, he was with Sugar Hill Records. He came to me one day, he was like, yo, hey man, I heard you got a song out. At this time, I'm secluded. I'm in the house every day writing Trapped,
Yeah.
which eventually was paid in full. So I'm like, what? So he, yeah, listen, played it for me. I'm like, wow, man. Listen to the song, Azie for real on Sugar Hill. I'm like, wow. Show me the album covers.
Right, yeah. And Azie's first single was called Sugar Hill,
Yeah, and that's where I'm from. I'm from Sugar Hill.
which is Harlem.
Harlem. I'm like, wow, man. I don't know him.
Is Azie from Harlem? The
I think
other
he's
Azie?
from Brooklyn,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
right? So when I look at the situation, Scutch bring it to me. I'm like, okay. So I call a lawyer, like, listen, man, I'm trying to work on a movie about my life, and there's this song out right now called Azie for Sugar Hill, and he's basically, sound like he's talking about my lifestyle, who I am. Come on down. I show it to him. He look. He don't look at AZ, he look at the company, EMI, right? In which we had a situation with EMI, I believe, on the table just as well at a point. So he like, oh, let's sue the label. So he looking at this kid ain't got no money. We going to sue the label for 10 million, blah, 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 blah. You know how lawyers. All right, whatever you say. Because this could fuck up your situation of you trying to get your movie deal. All right, let's do it. So basically in the deposition, they see that I was right. And they did an out-of-court settlement, which my lawyer told me it was for $50,000. Just take it. But in the newspaper, the Daily News, what's in the name they print? $450,000. But all I got was maybe a third of $50,000.
You only got a third.
Of $50,000.
Shouldn't it be 2/3 if the lawyer, is the lawyer supposed to take the third?
It might have been 2/3.
2/3, yeah.
Of $50,000.
Like 35.
But the paper reads $450. So did the lawyers in them get that much money and told me this? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how these people play, bro. It's wicked. It's more wicked than the streets.
Did you ever run into the rapper, Azie?
I ran into him one time, and he was like, yo, what's up, man? Yo, respect, respect, brother. I'm not that type of person. Respect, man, because I understand, man. I understand. It's just like, it's a way to eat, man. I'm paying homage. I understand that, but at the end of the day, bro, break bread. That never took place. That never took place. But I'm still not gonna, you feel me? Because I understand. But the average person, they might take it a whole nother way, man. We should do this, yo, let's go get at it. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
When you look back at your life and the decisions you made and the decisions, and your decisions, the way they affected people around you, do you have any regrets?
I wish I never left the cleanest, man. And maybe none of these stories would have to be told. But that's a if. You know what I mean? And ifs don't live. Ifs don't make sense. But I wish if I could replay it and I could saw the future, hell no. I'm gonna stay right here in the cleanest, and like Rich said in the movie, I'm gonna be the George Jefferson of the neighborhood, man. For real.
When you look at the kids that are coming up these days, who are selling drugs, who are trying to be the next AZ, trying to be the next Scarface, trying to be the next Freeway Ricky, and thinking that they're going to get in, make $1 billion and hop out, what would you tell them?
You're a fool, and the game been over since, I believe, 1990, when the government wasn't allowing it to happen no more. We did it because we was in the struggle. We poor, we broke. To me, they're doing it because they fell in love with it. You don't have to do it. There's many opportunities, other ways to make money, man.
Yeah.
You understand? So you're doing it because you want to be one of these characters, man. Be yourself, bro. Be yourself. Game over, man. Say yourself. It's over. You feel me? You putting yourself, you like, jumping in a costume that's already dead, man. You gotta be original. If it's over, it's over, man.
The drug game is over.
Yes. Yes, that's from my point of view. So some people might not feel like that, but to me, man, it don't make no sense after you see all the elements that's involved. This cat could be this, that. You don't know who's who. So it makes you say, if you're making money in the drug game today, you got to be connected with the government. So that's the chance you take. Now I can do what the fuck I want to. I got a badge to kill you, get you locked up or whatever. So that's the chance you taking, trying to get into the drug game, young man. Or even joining any gang. That's how wicked this shit is now.
Yeah.
It don't make sense at all.
Look, I work with them on Mad. Good guys. Good heart. Good guys. Give you the shirt off their back. Is it ironic? Is it a coincidence that most of their friends are white and got white wives? They like white women? I mean.
And they develop envy because they go home. They get out the car with their friend, with their other partner, and he listening to your music. They walk in the house, they girl listening to your music. They go downstairs, the kids doing a dance to your music. Now they are hypnotized with hatred.